The Unhappy Hour on the new AmericanMedia.com.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles to be specific. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of The Unhappy Hour here on the TNAM Radio Network. My name is Brian Engelman. I'm your host. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for linking up on social media and all of the other places we're at online. Those places are thenewamericanmedia.com. The right-hand side of that page will give you three important things. Our Twitter and Facebook feed, and that's when we tell you we're doing shows. At American_media_ on Twitter, or you can do the search for The New American Media on Facebook and then like the page. And then, of course, youtube.com/The New American Media. Click subscribe, comment on some of the stuff. Yeah, we're Indians, Cavs, Browns, and Buckeye fans over here. Hence the name The Unhappy Hour. And, you know, I mean, this is the soap opera of the sporting world. It never really slows down. There's always something going on. There's always, in the off-season, there's free agency, there's drafts, there's so much going on. Trades. Right now, Cavs are back at practice. That's nice to see. Oh, jeez. Oh, it's going to be nice rooting for a great team again. Ooh. What about the Buckeyes, you say? Get to the Buckeyes in a second. You see that new Cavs commercial? What is it? I think it's for TNT, maybe? It's pretty good. Check it out. Just type in Cavs commercial. It'll pop up. I'm not even going to walk you through it. It's just neat. Because it's very true. Those Buckeyes, yeah, they're still struggling. You know, they definitely have some amazing players. Ezekiel Elliott's fantastic. Who else is playing fantastic? You know, a little bit, but it's a team that really hasn't started clicking yet. And, you know, at this time last year, we already had a loss to Virginia Tech under our belt. So relax, in the immortal words of Aaron Rodgers. Relax. And, okay, yes, we already had a loss last year and we were able to win a championship, but we're not really dominating teams that we should be beating. I don't like seeing that. And trust me, I've seen enough Cleveland teams, whether it's the Cavs with LeBron, you dominate the regular season, but, you know, it counts toward the end of the year. Saw it with the Indians how many times? Great seasons, and, you know, you get down to all the marbles, and then unable to complete the task. But two other teams that were able to complete the task, the Cubs have advanced in the Major League Baseball playoffs by defeating the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-0. And then, of course, the Astros won. What was theirs? There was a shutout, too. What the heck was the... Anyway, but the Astros are in, the Cubs are in, the Indians are out. Mercifully, the Indian season is over. There's a little bit of nice stuff to build upon, to take as stepping stones toward next season. But yeah, I mean, we need some more offense. Got some really good pitching, maybe a little bit of bullpen help. But that team's not all that far away. Now, I'll tell you about a team that does kind of seem far away, the Cleveland Browns. I went down to San Diego this past weekend with a group of friends. And it was a great time. I'll tell you what, the one thing I've found, living out here on the West Coast, when I've gone to see... when I saw Ohio State play Oregon in the Rose Bowl with Terrell Pryor, we traveled well. Lots of fans went to go see the Buckeyes play Cal Berkeley up by San Francisco. It was about 70% Buckeye fans. We travel really well. And then, of course, down in San Diego, there were a lot of Browns fans. I don't even know percentages, but people that watched the game said every time they showed the crowd, there were a lot of Browns fans. And when I was there, we went to just that tailgate lot. There was a big gathering in the back corner. Just, you know, I don't even know the numbers, but everywhere you looked, it was all Browns fans. It was a private event just for Browns fans. It was great. We do travel well, but I'll tell you what, man, I got to witness another weird one. A few years ago, I went with my cousin up to the Black Hole, saw a Raiders-Browns game. And this was one where Phil Dawson kicked the game-winning field goal in the last seconds. His time expired. It was over. The stadium was silent. It was great. But there was a penalty. Moved him 5 yards back, kicked it again, missed it. That whole place erupted. I was miserable. Their fans, Raiders. I heard it for hours, trying to get out of that place. Oh, that was a lousy day. It was a great day. I tailgating and barbecuing and football. I mean, it's always good. Big play by Josh Cribbs, if I recall. But yeah, so that one was where we made the field goal to win it. That wasn't to tie it. That was to win it. And then there was a penalty. Kicked it again and missed it. This game, the 30-27 loss against the San Diego Chargers, this game was won. Well, this game was, I said won, but it wasn't W-O-N, it was O-N-E. This was a game where what happened was down 27-30. Or I'm sorry, tied 27 all. Chargers kick a field goal, miss it. Oh, but we went off sides, so they moved in 5 yards, kicked it again, and made it, and they won 30-27. Such a Brownsy way to lose. Such a Brownsy way to lose a game. Now here we sit at 1-3, looking at the Ravens, and then looking down the road at Denver Broncos and some other teams. It's hard to say your season's on the brink after 4 games, but I'll tell you what. If we don't get it done, this season's about toast. And then the fail for Cardale, that stuff's going to get loud. And hell, look at Cardale Jones. He's looking more like Jamarcus Russell than Cardale Jones of last year. That Buckeye team, Urban Meyer, I don't know what's going on with the Bucs. Is that championship hangover or something? But yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm disappointed. I am just so fed up with this stuff. We deserve better than this. Every year since 1999, with the exception of 1 or 2 seasons, it's just been miserable. 16 years. A couple of bright things to take away from the game. Josh McCown did okay. 2 touchdowns, 356 yards. Not bad. But I'll tell you what, he took a couple of stupid sacks. You got to do better than that. You just have to. Look at the drives. 36-yard field goal. 28-yard field goal. 33-yard field goal. 40-yard field goal. I mean, that's too many times we're getting too close to scoring without doing it. Gary Barnidge had a touchdown reception, and Taylor Gabriel caught a 2-point conversion to tie the game. Okay, that's nice. Duke Johnson had a touchdown pass, 34 yards. But the defense, the Browns' defense, just... I mean, Joe Hayden didn't play because he had an ouchy finger. I don't know about that. I don't know what to think because I played, and you play hurt, you play dinged up. And look, if it's an ankle and you can't go, you can't go. You can't keep up. I tried that. I did that. I was that before. My junior year when we went to the state championship game. I was on special teams. I was behind 2 I don't know what they were. First team, second team, honorable mention, defensive ends for the state of Ohio. So I didn't mind being a backup to them. But I was second string behind those guys. And we did get quite a bit of, what do they call it, garbage time in the playoffs. But I'll tell you what did happen. I did roll my ankle last game of the season, and it was bad. It was pretty bad. I was not able to really put weight on it, and I would go out there for one play, and I couldn't do it. I remember going, a kickoff return. You kind of drop back 10, 20, 30 yards, whatever it is, and kind of line up, then you kind of go forward and make your block. I remember making my block, and I tried to push off, and I just crumpled. I tried, man. I was using crutches in school. I was sitting out practice. I'm like, no, I'll be good. I'll be good for the game. And then I kept trying to play, and I was injured. I couldn't move. I couldn't push. I had no strength. It was painful. Out of all those things, painful was probably the least important thing. I just physically couldn't do it. But if you got an ouchy finger, Joe Hayden, I mean, you with a bum finger, wrap it up. I don't know, man. I've tackled many a person with bum fingers. Those don't keep you from running and defending. You can lift an arm up and bat something down. So I don't know. Joe Hayden sat the game out. And the defense in general just doesn't look good. Mike Pettin is supposed to be good on defense. Mike Pettin is in charge. Mike Pettin has got to be on the hot seat. I mean, that's what he does. So, this season, looking a little rough right now. Here's what we got coming up. Ravens, Broncos, Rams, Cardinals, Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Niners, Seahawks, Chiefs, Steelers. So, Joe Hayden didn't want to be a liability with his injured finger. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, Duke Johnson, Isaiah Crowell, moments of looking decent, and then other moments where it's not so good. And then, I don't know. This offense can put up a couple of points. I was watching the game so many times, though, time after time. I'm just saying, there's no way Johnny takes that hit. There's no way Johnny's going to stand there that long when he had the room to run. He'd still be running. And what happens when you have a quarterback that can run, and I'll tell you what, Johnny's been really good in his time this season so far when he played against the Titans and when he came in against the Jets. He's good at running and getting down. Nice slides. He's safe at second base. He's good at sliding and not getting his head ripped off like Colt McCoy did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to blame Colt McCoy for his concussions and injuries, but Johnny's been really good at avoiding hits. We'll just say it that way, because that's what I mean. What happens is 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, crap, and then you take off. The linebackers cannot play the running backs the same. They have to break off their coverage of the tight ends. The Taylor Gabriels, the Andrew Hawkins is you can't. It forces a defense to play differently. You got the safeties and the corners playing their receivers differently. And Josh McCown, for all those yards, it's very different than when Johnny's in there throwing 50-yard touchdown bombs. I saw that meme last week, and it said the NFL had 6 plays that scored touchdowns of 50 or more yards. And Johnny Manziel was responsible for 3 of them, half of the entire NFL through 3 games. So, or through 2 games, or whatever it was, whenever I saw it. Johnny just brings a different dynamic. And look, I get that Josh, he put up a few points. Like I said, too many stalled field goal drives. Stalled touchdown drives settling for field goal. Too much of that. But still 27 points. It was competitive right down to the final play. That's kind of what you should... That's kind of the most you can hope for out of a team that's supposed to be winning games on defense. Instead, it's the defense that's been the liability. Go figure. So, trying to figure that out, trying to clean that up. Josh McCown, a lot of his plays were, real short passes. If you just keep the chains moving and go down, like that long drive against the Jets, and then he got his concussion. But I'm having a hard time understanding how it benefits the team to not figure out if Johnny Manziel's the guy or not. This isn't the Johnny Manziel of last year. Last year he was a train wreck. He didn't know his stuff. Pictures of him in Vegas nightclubs with rolled up bills in the bathroom sink. Wonder what he's up to. Drunk with champagne, floating on swans at parties, flying to Vegas for parties when he's supposed to be studying the playbook. He checked himself into rehab and got his life together because I think he realized, I'm going to be out of this league and I'm not going to be Johnny Football making millions anymore. No more Snickers commercials for me if I don't get on the field. And my priorities have been a little off. And I kind of let the team and the city down and all the fans across the country. Like this guy that drove from L.A. down to San Diego to cheer you on. But Mike Pettin says that Josh McCown gives the Browns the best chance to win, but it's not about winning today. It's about maybe in football, more so than any other sport, you need to get one position done before you can really go on that championship run. And there's a lot of quarterbacks. Andy Dalton, up until this year. Matt Ryan. Oh, they can't win the big ones and this and that. Now, I know it's early in the season, but early in the season, they both look pretty good. They could be championship worthy. They could be. Russell Wilson, picked in the 3rd round, small guy. He got it done. Okay, great defense, great running attack, a couple other things, but you really got to figure out this quarterback position. You got to have that anchored in with somebody you can trust. And maybe because he burned so many bridges last year, the coaching staff doesn't trust Johnny Manziel, but that was last year. I mean, Johnny came in and got us our only win of the season. Think about that. This other guy, I don't. Okay, so do you count Johnny Manziel's loss to the Jets? He didn't game plan to be the starter. And if you're not game planning to be the starter, you're running scout team and you're picking up the offenses of the other teams, and you're there to give them a look, is what they say. Give them a good look. You're not working on, hey, as the starter, here's the game plan and here's how I'm going to attack. He did that for the Titans and he won the game. McCown did that for the Raiders Chargers. Lost both those games. We'll just keep the Jets out of that for a second. So I'm just having a hard time. I'm still wondering out loud if Braxton Miller should get a chance to start for the Buckeyes. I mean, J.T. Barrett hasn't showed us much. Cardale Jones hasn't showed us much. I mean, interceptions, bad passes, bad decisions. Buckeyes do not look bulletproof. Should they slip out of the the playoff conversation? Get that weak stuff out of here. Get out of here. No way. Even though we knew Florida State was iffy last year, they earned it the year before. They earned a spot in the top 4. Let others play their way in. If you go through a regular season unblemished as the defending national champion, you're in. In my book, and I'm talking if that would go for anybody. So I mean, look, I'd rather be sitting there at 4-0 than 1-3 like the Browns. It's better to be a Buckeye than it is to be a Brown right now. That's for sure. You're right. We are what our record says we are. But I'm just wondering if Braxton Miller would get a chance to play quarterback again. If that shoulder's fully healed up, if they would give him a shot. I don't know. Cardale he's not winning it. There was a reason he was 3rd-string quarterback last year. Guy played lights out when it counted. I mean, lights out when it counted. And if he did it once, he could do it again. But let's just hope Cardale's head's in the right place. I don't know. I don't even have an opinion on it. So what? He tweets a couple things and he on social media. So what? That doesn't mean he's. You're not hearing the same stories you heard about Johnny Manziel with him by any stretch. But both of these cats, they're buddies with LeBron James. LeBron James has a big task to bring home Cleveland's first championship since 1964. 51 years of misery. So, I just say, play Johnny. Play him. Play him. Give him the reins. Find out. Could you possibly be the guy? Do we have to wait another year and not even know? What did we see from Johnny? Already came in and, whatever, against the Jets. Prepared as a starter for the Titans, and he beat the Titans, doubled them up, 28-14, a couple big plays. Got it done when it counted, in the clutch. Those weren't stalled field goal drives, those were touchdowns. When it counted, the most. And that's what you need out of a quarterback if you're going to win a Super Bowl. You need to know that if it's fourth quarter and the game's on the line, that you have somebody there that could possibly get it done. I just... There's part of me that says that Johnny Manziel could actually be learning about the best way to do the checkdowns, to dump the ball off, to not get creamed in the pot. But then you see the turnovers from McCown and the sacks, the stalled touchdown drives, and you go, he's learning from him. He's not learning from Tom Brady. He's not sitting back behind Peyton Manning, who has not looked all that great this year. This is probably going to be it for Mr. Manning. So that's what I'm left with. I mean, this was a take off your custom Browns jersey and throw it on the ground and then kick it, and it ends up in the bushes, and then it ends up in the garbage, and then it's retrieved and it has to get washed. And just like you as a fan, you got to dust yourself off and shake it off, and got your crappy... And I have one of the crappiest, most beat-up jerseys, too. So it's not the new colors, it's not the new year. It's from before, the remodel, the revamp. And it's so bad, all the... where it used to say Browns right at the collarbone or the chest plate right underneath the chin. All those letters peeled off. All the letters on the front and back, they're all cracking and falling apart. It was so bad, I called NFL.com or NFL, whoever at the NFL made the jerseys. I sent them pictures or whatever. I'm like, I've worn this thing twice and I haven't washed it once, and these letters are already peeling off. This is garbage for a custom jersey. So hey, to be fair and give them credit, they refunded it all. So it's my free crappy Browns jersey. But it's a lot like being a Cleveland Browns fan. You wear it, and it makes you look like crap. But that's part of the charm, isn't it? It's part of the charm. It's part of the charm of the Chicago Cubs, which is why a lot of people are rooting for them. I'm rooting for the Cubs. They have not won it in a very, very long time. Who knows? Maybe Theo Epstein can work his magic again. Maybe. Maybe Back to the Future had it right, where the Cubs were going to win over Miami for the World Series. Dun, dun, dun. I'm rooting for the Cubs. But that whole lovable loser thing, I mean, come on. You don't need to look outside. Chicago had Walter Payton and Michael Jordan, and go down the list. Plenty to cheer for. White Sox have won it. Blackhawks keep winning it. Come on. Chicago's got nothing to whine about. So, as a Cleveland Browns fan, a lot of us feel like that jersey of mine. I mean, I was just so disgusted. I actually wonder if there's a video or a Vine of me out there floating around. But just so frustrated. should not be this bad for this long. It should not be. And I'm all for coaching stability and front office stability. You gotta give somebody it's like in college, you know. It's different with the NFL, but maybe not so, because you have contracts that, you know, longer contracts, and you're locked into what the previous administration did. And I'm not talking about the Iraq War, where a lot of people say that the war was won in 2011 until Obama pulled out the troops and everything started falling to hell, and now the whole world's on fire right now, especially with Russia and China invading Syria, destroying the CIA-backed rebels, as we try to play Team America World Police. But, you know, it takes a coaching staff and a general manager a little bit of time to cycle through. How long did it take the Cavs? LeBron left, everything imploded. Mike Brown and Shaquille O'Neal, and, you know, go down the list of all the players that were on that team versus the next year. I mean, it was almost completely gutted. You know, it took a couple of years. You had to make a few draft picks, find some new cornerstones to build around, get rid of some expiring contracts, trade a few contracts, stockpile more draft picks. It takes a couple years to really reboot a franchise. So, am I willing to give Mike Pettin a chance? A 4-year deal to actually just ride it out and see? On one hand, yes. But then on the other hand, you look down at the Atlanta Falcons and look how quick they turned it around. So, it's hard. Of course, the Atlanta Falcons have Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, who we passed on, traded away essentially, however you want to phrase that. Best receiver in the NFL right now. Could have been ours. Although I would really like to see Travis Benjamin with Josh Gordon next year. Man, could you imagine? I have a feeling Josh Gordon is going to come back really hungry and really good. And I sure hope so. Oh, but don't worry. The NFL is also investigating Joe Hayden. Why was he listed as questionable or probable, and then why was he scratched right before the game? Yeah, Ray Farmer's back from Textgate. Yeah, Deflategate, it results in nothing. Tom Brady plays the whole season. But the Browns are penalized. Oh, and don't worry, they're looking into penalizing the Browns again. I mean, it really is almost like the NFL wants the Cleveland Browns to be bad. Now, that's a whole different conspiracy theory in and of itself, but I love conspiracy theories. And that's kind of why I talk about them on Agree to Disagree. It's another show that we do. I recommend you guys check that out. A lot of politics, a lot of activism, a lot of finance, a lot of... we're going to be covering... I have an interview loosely lined up. I just got to lock in the details. Former RNC chairman Michael Steele. Man, I'm very excited to talk with him and ask, how in the world could somebody who at least theoretically believes in a lot of the fiscal / worldview things that the Republican Party at least claims that they're into, how did they lose me? You know, Michael Steele was essentially the head coach of the Republicans. Yeah, I've never voted for a Democrat for president, but I haven't voted in too many elections. Hand up, I gotta admit it, just like hi, my name's Brian, and I'm a Browns fan. Hi, Brian. Yes, I did vote for George W. Bush twice. Like, I just couldn't fathom the concept of Al Gore or John Kerry. And yes, I did vote for John McCain. Hi, my name's Brian. I voted for John McCain. Because I obviously couldn't vote for Obama. I'm a maximum liberty, minimum government intrusion kind of guy. And at least Republicans say things like that. And you're like, yeah, that makes sense. And then they go behind closed doors, cut dirty deals. And you're like, wait, you're just like the other guys. You're just lying to me about these things. They're lying to me about those things. So that party, hey, when they traded Ron Paul literally for an empty chair at the convention, flashback, Ron Paul, when he was running for president, didn't win, but he did win a plurality of delegates. He got enough people to support him where he earned a chance to speak at the convention down in Tampa. They changed the rules just to keep him out of there. They didn't even want him coming up and giving a couple-minute speech. And then they brought in Clint Eastwood, who talked to an empty chair. They literally traded Ron Paul for an empty chair. So I'm looking forward to talking to Michael Steele about how in the world did that party lose me? Or I guess maybe another way to phrase it, how did they trick me in the first place? Maybe because I was young and dumb, and I thought there was a difference between the two parties. But that's the stuff we talk about on Agree to Disagree. We hope you guys come by and take a look at that. We got 4.5 years of some really cool interviews, pretty good shows. A lot of really good stuff in the pipeline coming up. We're going to get you a lot of content next week. Stay tuned for that. And of course, I'm going to keep covering the Indians, Cavs, Browns, and Buckeyes. Indians are kind of chill for a little bit. We'll see if they can make any free agency moves. I think they're looking to bring in another minority owner of the Cleveland Indians, maybe somebody with deep pockets who can help them get a few bats, because the pitching was pretty good this year. We got a few pieces in place. We need to tweak a few things, but we have a shot. But you need a few of those Albert Bells or Manny Ramirez and Jim Thome. You need some of those guys. You need a Kenny Lofton. You need a Roberto Alomar or a Matt Williams. You need to have some of that firepower. You need to have some of that pop. So we'll cover the Indian stuff as it happens. Hopefully the Buckeyes continue to remain undefeated and hopefully continue to improve their game. And, the Cavs season, I'm hoping this is going to be a special one. I am trying like hell, everybody, to complete my book. It's called There's Only Next Year. What happens to the collective psyche of 3 generations of Ohio sports fans? Probably Cleveland sports fans. I'm still working on the subtitle. What happens to 3 generations of Cleveland sports fans when you haven't won a championship in 51 years? Something like that. But I've been working on it. I'm trying to get it out there. Who knows? Maybe I could even get it out by Christmas. That'd be fantastic. But I definitely want to get it done by the end of this season, because I would love to play a tiny role. Complete this book about the curse, and then this is the year we win the title. And I can always claim a little bit of karmic goodwill. Yes, I want credit, damn it. I want credit for the big salad, like they said on Seinfeld. No, but I want to get it out there because I really do think this is the year that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to bring it home. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love. Who knows what's going on with Tristan? But geez, the way Richard Jefferson dunked it tonight. Oh, that gets you going. That's exciting. But I guess the biggest thing to look forward to coming up then is the excitement of watching the Browns play the team that used to be the Browns before they stole the Browns, the dreadful Baltimore Ravens. And hopefully we smack them in the teeth. So anyway, stay tuned. Check out all of our shows. We're on youtube.com/The New American Media. Click subscribe. Let those advertisements play, and it's like throwing a couple pennies in our wishing well. And that all helps. It's going to be computer upgrade time here real soon, and hey, they're not handing them out. So that's kind of the only revenue stream we have going right now at the New American Media, but we're about to take some leaps and bounds, take some steps forward, make some advances in the coming year, and we're really happy you guys have been sticking with us throughout the process. But leave your comments on the YouTube channel, because we try to respond to some of them, all of them. Keep the conversation going. We want you guys to talk amongst each other in that group. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Make sure you sign up. It's the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. It's on Facebook. It's a private group. So search it out, find it, and as long as I can confirm that you are indeed an Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye fan, we'll let you in. But anyway, for everybody here at the TNAM Radio Network, my name's Brian Engelman. I'm signing out. I will talk to you later. I appreciate you. I love you. Peace.
And this is John B. Wells reminding you that not only is Brian Engelman a cool guy, and not only is the newamericanmedia.com a very cool platform, but here's a cool idea for you, too. Are you alone? Not really. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? You do. Of course you do. Everybody does. One or the other, maybe even both. You know, there are a lot of dogs and cats that are at shelters right now, and if somebody doesn't take them home, they're going to wind up euthanized. That's a nice way of saying they're going to be killed because there's simply not enough room. I guarantee it, the best dogs and the best cats, the best pets come from shelters. There's something about dogs and cats. They know. They know where they are. You walk through one of them, and certainly at least one is going to look at you and go, I wish you'd take me home. I'm in hell. Please take me out of here. It'll be the best thing that you ever did for your soul. You'll feel good about it. And not only that, but you have a friend for life. Doesn't matter if you got money, you don't have money. Well, it doesn't make any difference to a dog or cat. All they need is the sound of your voice and maybe even the stroke of your hand, and they're fine. Maybe a little food every once in a while. The sweetest sound that those pets ever hear is your voice. Think it over and adopt a cat or a dog from a local shelter today. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did.